Welcome to Deck, the Midsize Drawer System installation video. In a world of crappy instructions, bad advice, and questionable sources of truth, it's nice to have someone who actually walks you through a process like this, which is actually pretty simple, but it'll make it that much more simple for you. But your job, of course, is to read the damn instructions. The word is out that we discourage use of power tools. We know you're gonna do it anyway, so if you're gonna use power tools, make sure you use some kind of cordless driver like this that has a clutch adjustment and a speed adjustment. You're gonna wanna set that clutch in the lower third. This one goes to like 20, so it's like set at 8 or 9. That'll prevent you from spinning out any of the inserts that are in the plastic. They're super strong, but if you go too fast and too much force, you can spin them out. We give you a couple extra ones if you do screw that up, but not that many. And then set the speed to 1. And I like to start finger threading anything like an insert that's in plastic. That's really what you're worried about. Anytime you're connecting metal to metal, you can go ahead and turn that thing up and get it nice and tight. To begin, it's really important that you take everything out of the box, set it on the floor so you know what you're looking at and you get your bearings. Get your hardware kit all nice and organized, lay everything out, and actually establish where you're putting it together on the ground as you are standing like to the back of the truck. I like to pretend I'm at the tailgate. And that makes it so much easier when you're reading the instructions. You know where everything is, you get yourself oriented, you know where you are. Take a second to flip through the instructions as well, just to get your eyes on everything so you know where you're going. And then that's it, dive right in, follow this video, we'll make it super simple for you. And of course, if you have any questions, we're always there to answer them, so call us or email or whatever you'd like to do. Just be nice. Okay, that's it, let's get going. To get her done, you're gonna need a 3/8 inch socket, a 7/16 inch wrench or socket, a 1/2 inch socket, an adjustable wrench or a 3/8 inch wrench, a 3/16, a 5/32, and a 7/32 hex key. You're also gonna need a trusted friend with a weak mind and a strong back. And depending on your specific vehicle, you may need a couple other common tools to refer to your particular instructions. Prep the bed. Some vehicles require things like bed shims or replacement of bed tie downs. If your instructions tell you to follow these steps, follow them. If not, pass go and collect $200. They're very easy, but also very important. For purposes of today's video, we're skipping ahead and on to the exciting business at hand. Step 1, be the box. Imagine your truck bed is on the ground, tailgate end is at your feet, and the cab side is furthest away from you. Place your 2 side assemblies on the ground with the axles on the tailgate end of the system. Install the 2 little wheels onto the axles at the tailgate end on either side using the 7/32 hex driver. Ensure that the cab side brackets are snugly tightened to both the C-channels and the cab side support feet, and that they're all plumb with the top surface parallel to the C-channel. The tailgate end support feet and C-channel bolts and nuts should be slightly loose for fitting the deck panel on properly. Step 2, close it out. Take the cab side closeout panel and connect it to the side assemblies with 2 3/8 inch hex screws from the bag MS screws, using the slotted holes attaching from the outside of the closeout panel to the support feet. An important note here, if you purchased a lock for your drawer, install the panel striker plate to the underside of the center deck panel now. Now place the center deck panel on top of what you've built. Shift the tailgate feet if necessary to align the inserts in the feet to the mounting holes in the panel. Step number 3, big deck energy. Grab 4 bolts from the MS bolts bag and install 1 bolt into each corner hole, which is marked by a triangle molded in the panel, aligning the inserts in the support feet. Go back and tighten the tailgate end support feet and tie down C-channel nuts and bolts. Install 3 or 4 stubby tubes, depending on your bed length, into the slots on the driver's side of the main deck panel. Make sure to insert them completely. Whistle for your friend to come and give you a hand, and lift this beautiful creation into your truck bed. Once it is in the bed, insert the 3 or 4 remaining stubby tubes into the passenger side of the main deck panel. Step 4, tie her down. Find your respective turnbuckles. There are 3 different lengths of turnbuckles possible depending on your rig. Take a minute to identify where each length goes, which can vary depending on your fitment. At this point, we're only going to install the cab side turnbuckles. We will do the tailgate turnbuckles later. Set the jam nuts to the outermost position on the turnbuckle. Set the distance that each side of the turnbuckle is tightened to an equal distance. Now adjust the turnbuckle to the approximate correct length by grasping each end in your hand and holding firmly as you rotate the take-up to adjust length. Take a moment to straighten and center the entire system in your bed. Identify the round hole in the deck tie-down bracket and loop one end of the turnbuckle through the hole, then loop the other end through the bed tie-down bracket. Rotate the take-up to tighten the turnbuckle. Get the system centered in the bed and tighten these down as tight as you can get with your hand, and then use a wrench or screwdriver to apply no more than 1 full turn of tension. Tighten the jam nuts against the take-up with a wrench. Step number 5, time to wing it. Grab the 2 winger panels and remove the stash bin and access lids. Set the wingers into place on the stubby tubes. If the winger panels do not seat evenly, you may have a bolt in the wrong place, so go check your work. Bag MS bolts has what you need to finish the step. Take the remaining bolts and connect the winger panels to the support feet. Step number 6, ring the bell. Find the bag marked D-rings. Drop 1 silver spacer into each corner D-ring location. Place the D-ring flat side down on top of the spacer. Now place a small washer on top of the D-ring and thread a black bolt into the tie-down location and tighten. For available tie-down locations without a D-ring, place a large washer into these recesses and tighten down with a black bolt. Additional tie-downs for these locations may be purchased on our website. Step number 7, build that drawer. Grab the drawer bin and drawer bin HW bag. Thread 2 5/32 by 3/4 inch long hex screws through the inside of the bin into the weld strip below the bin on either side. Leave these completely loose. Grab the bottom of the drawer, which we will now refer to as a tray. You will notice that one end has 4 holes drilled into it. This end slots into the drawer bin. While supporting the drawer bin, evenly insert and slide the weld strips into each topside tray channel. Seat the aluminum side channels and tray firmly against the bin and the bin tabs. Make sure everything is even and snug, and then tighten the 4 hex screws inside the drawer bin to fasten into place. From the bag drawer bin HW, grab 4 3/16 inch by 1 inch long screws. Place your tray and drawer bin on a flat surface where you can access the underside of the assembly. Don't rack this collection of parts, keep it straight and true. Screw 4 screws through the holes in the aluminum tray into the bosses in the drawer bin, being careful to only get them good and snug and not strip them out. Now dive back into the drawer bin HW bag and grab 10 1/2 inch hex head bolts and slide them into the channels on either side of the tray, using 5 per side. Grab your high sides and the wheel brackets and loosely attach them to each other using the nuts and bolts in the drawer bin HW bag. Wheel brackets go on the outside of the high sides. Place this assembly on top of the tray channel to align the hex bolts you slid in the channel with the holes in the assembly. Set the high side and drawer bracket assembly on top of the tray channel, flange pointing inboard, drawer bracket axles point out. Hex bolts thread through the holes on the high side flange. Press this entire assembly firmly against the drawer bin, making sure they seat properly and that you like it. Snugly tighten the 10 nuts onto the bolts on the sides of the tray and go back and adjust and firmly tighten the wheel brackets to the high sides. Orient the back plate with the chamfered edges pointing down and flanges facing in. Seat the back plate onto the tray and wheel brackets by hooking the bottom of the tray and rotating upwards to capture both ends of the wheel brackets. Use the remaining nuts and bolts in the drawer bin HW bag to tighten the back plate to the drawer brackets. Now looky there, you just made a big badass drawer. Install the big wheels to the wheel brackets on the cab side end of the big ass drawer you just built. Clip the wheel stops onto the sides of the wheel brackets. They are labeled L and R. Driver's side is left and passenger side is right. Install the weather strip onto the drawer edge with the pointy end pointing towards the inside of the drawer away from the tailgate end of the system. Make sure to get this right. Screwing it up sucks and it will funnel water into your drawers rather than keep the water out. Now press firmly into place. Carefully lift the big ass drawer and gently slide the wheels into the C channels, holding the end of the BAD up high and slide forward until the wheel stops clear the tailgate wheels. Level out the tray and slide it in all the way. Now that is satisfying. Step number 8, that's a wrap. Install the torsion brace, position it such that the holes at the ends are facing you and the flat holeless section side is down. Slide underneath the system and connect in the corners with 2 screws from bag MS screws. Take 4 3/16 inch hex screws out and tighten the ruler down snugly. Be careful not to strip these out. Now install the tailgate end turnbuckles using the same technique as in the cab side step. Make sure that the system is centered in your bed using the ribs and troughs as reference to the outbound sides of the torsion brace and support feet. Once you like it, get the turnbuckles as tight as you can by hand and go back with a wrench or screwdriver and give them no more than 1 full extra turn. Tighten the jam nuts down against the take-up on the turnbuckle with a wrench. Now install the stash bins and stash bin lids in their respective locations, as well as the access panel lids. And if you haven't done so already, slide the tray mat into the drawer. All right, that's it. Congratulations on your new deck drawer system. If you have any questions, hit us up on social media, email, phone call, whatever. We're here to help. Thanks again for your business and enjoy.